Intro: when a man searches for truth, he often looks outward, toward the world, toward others, toward her. But the truth in its deepest form is not something you discover. It's something you face. There are moments in life when masks fall, when filters disappear, and when what's hidden in the corners of a person's heart quietly reveals itself. And sometimes that happens when someone's guard is down, when emotions flow freely, unguarded by pride or fear. That's what this video is about. It's not about manipulation. It's not about interrogation. It's about understanding. Understanding her, understanding yourself, and understanding the fragile yet powerful fabric of human honesty. Jordan Peterson once said, "If you want the truth, you have to be willing to listen to things you don't want to hear." So if you want to know her truth, to see the world through her emotions when she's vulnerable, then listen closely, because when she's unfiltered, she will tell you things her pride hides in daylight. Things that reveal how deeply she trusts you, how much she values you, or how far she's already walked away in her heart. This is not about the alcohol. It's about the moment of truth, when a person's words become windows to their soul. In this speech, we'll explore the 6 questions that every man should ask, not to expose, but to understand. To understand what she feels when she's not pretending to be okay, to understand what love means when the masks fall off, and most importantly, to understand what it means to be a man who seeks truth, not comfort. So take a deep breath, set aside your ego, and listen with your heart, because truth is never gentle, but it's always necessary. Welcome to this journey of understanding, courage, and reality. Welcome to If All Men Should Watch This Video. Ask her these 6 questions when she's drunk. You'll find the truth. The first layer of truth, her emotional reality. You see, when a woman is guarded, her words are polished, measured, and deliberate. But when the mind relaxes, when the filters fall, the heart speaks louder. That's the moment when she doesn't just talk, she reveals. The first question you ask must never be about curiosity. It must come from care. Ask her, "Are you truly happy?" Most people will answer that question with a quick yes, because it's the easiest lie to tell. But in her eyes, you'll see the truth. When she's honest, maybe for the first time, she'll pause before answering. And that pause, that small silence, holds everything you need to know. Jordan Peterson teaches that truth often hides beneath suffering. If she begins to speak about what hurts, about what she lost, about what she wanted but never said, listen. Do not correct. Do not justify. Just listen. Because her happiness is not always about you, it's about her own battles, her disappointments, and the things she never got to say. Most men think understanding women is about solving problems. It's not. It's about giving them space to be heard, without being judged. If she tells you about pain, she's not asking you to fix it. She's asking you to see it. If she tells you she feels lost, she's not seeking directions. She's seeking connection. That's the first truth, her emotional reality. The first question opens a door. The way you handle her answer decides whether she steps through it or closes it forever. When you look at her and say, "Tell me what makes you unhappy lately," you're giving her permission to show you her unfiltered self. And once she does, never use those words against her. Because when a woman shares her truth, she's giving you something fragile. Trust. A man who listens without judgment earns something far greater than attraction. He earns respect. And in that moment, you stop being just someone she knows. You become someone she trusts. That's how the first layer of truth reveals itself. Through empathy, not interrogation. The hidden heart, her real feelings about you. The second question is more difficult and more dangerous. Ask her, "Do you feel safe with me?" It sounds simple, but it's not. Because safety is not only about physical protection. It's emotional, spiritual, psychological. If she pauses, if she hesitates, or if she smiles before answering, listen between the words. When a woman feels safe, she opens up. Her words soften. Her tone becomes calm. She may even look at you differently, with warmth instead of caution. But when she doesn't feel safe, she withdraws even when she's close. She'll avoid vulnerability because she fears it will be used against her. And here's the truth. Most men think dominance creates attraction, but what actually creates connection is safety. If she doesn't feel safe to express herself, she'll hide behind sarcasm, jokes, or silence. If she does feel safe, she'll reveal her truest emotions: love, anger, fear, confusion, without fear of rejection. Peterson reminds us that men must become the containers of chaos. That means you must be stable enough to hold her emotional storm without losing yourself. To be strong not by control but by calmness. Because when a woman senses you can remain grounded even when she's not, that's when she truly begins to trust. So when she's open, when she's unguarded, ask her gently, "Do you feel safe when you're with me?" And let her answer shape your understanding of what you mean to her. If she says yes, you've built something rare. If she hesitates, and you've got work to do, but remember, her honesty is not an attack. It's a mirror. It shows you where you stand and where you must grow. Every man who seeks real connection must understand this. Love is not built in moments of perfection. It's built in moments of truth. And that truth begins when you dare to ask the questions most people are too afraid to hear. Part 3. The Emotional Compass. What She Regrets. Soft piano continues with a slow pulse, creating emotional tension. There's a kind of truth that lives beneath regret. It's not always loud or dramatic, and sometimes it's whispered in quiet moments when the world stops spinning, and she remembers the things she wished she'd done differently. The third question you ask must reach into that silence. Ask her, what do you regret the most? You see, regret is not about weakness, it's about humanity. It's the acknowledgement that we've hurt others, hurt ourselves, or wasted time chasing illusions. When she answers this question honestly, she's not confessing, she's healing. Most people hide their regrets because they fear being judged. They fear their pain will make them look small. But in truth, our regrets are the fingerprints of our growth. They reveal the values that actually matter. When she tells you what she regrets, listen not just to what she says, but why she says it. If she regrets not trusting someone, she values honesty. If she regrets losing someone, she values connection. If she regrets not speaking up, she values courage. Behind every regret is a truth about her soul. Jordan Peterson often speaks about the burden of untold truth. He says that when you carry lies, and even small ones, your spirit bends under their weight. But when you speak truthfully, even painfully, you begin to stand up straight again. So when she opens up about her regrets, don't interrupt. Don't offer easy comfort. Let her words flow, let her cry, let her breathe, let her remember. Because in those moments, you're not just hearing her story, you're witnessing her transformation. If you can hold her hand, literally or metaphorically, as she revisits her past, you'll see something miraculous. The walls she built to protect herself will begin to soften. And here's the paradox. When she shares her regrets, she's not looking for pity. She's searching for understanding. And the man who listens without running away becomes the man she'll never forget. So ask her that question not to expose her weakness, but to remind her that she's human, beautifully flawed, courageously broken, and still worthy of love. That's the third truth. Regret is not a scar. It's a map. And if you learn to read it, you'll understand where her heart has been and where it still longs to go. The window to her past. What she misses the most. The fourth question reveals nostalgia. the echoes of who she was before life changed her. Ask her, what do you miss the most about your past? This question is not about digging into old relationships or chasing ghosts. It's about identity. Every person carries within them a version of themselves they once loved, and sometimes they mourn the loss of that person. When she answers, she might talk about a place, a time, a person, or a feeling. Maybe she misses her laughter before life made her serious. Maybe she misses the girl who dreamed without fear. Maybe she misses the simplicity before she learned what heartbreak felt like. Jordan Peterson reminds us that nostalgia is not weakness. It's a reminder of who we once were before cynicism replaced wonder. And if you listen carefully, what she misses the most often points to what she still needs the most. If she says she misses peace, it means she's living in conflict. If she misses freedom, it means she feels trapped. If she misses love, it means she feels unseen. Her longing is a compass. It points directly to the gap between her past and her present. When a man truly listens to that, he begins to understand the emotional blueprint of her soul. Not through logic, but through empathy. And here's what most men get wrong. They think understanding a woman is about solving her problems. But understanding is not a solution of its presence. It's the ability to sit with her pain without trying to erase it. So when she tells you what she misses, don't rush to bring it back. Just honor it. Say something simple like, I understand. That must have meant a lot to you. That acknowledgement alone can rebuild trust faster than 1,000 promises. Because in a world where people are constantly pretending to be strong, the greatest gift you can give someone is the safety to remember. That's the fourth truth. The past doesn't define her, but it does explain her. If you want to love her deeply, learn the language of her longing, because her longing is the echo of her soul calling out for meaning. And the man who understands that and truly understands her. The question of trust, what she believes about love. By now, the conversation has shifted. You've gone from curiosity to connection, from surface to soul. The fifth question brings it all together. Ask her, what does love mean to you now? Not what it used to mean, not what she wishes it meant, but what it means now after everything she's lived through. This is the question that separates illusion from reality. Because every person's definition of love evolves with experience. Some believe love is passion. Others think it's loyalty. But truthfully, love is not just a feeling, it's a choice, a discipline, a responsibility. Peterson teaches that love is the voluntary commitment to another's growth, even when it's difficult, even when it's inconvenient. It's the willingness to stand in the storm instead of running for comfort. When she answers this question, she's showing you what she's learned about the human heart. If she says love is patience, she's been through chaos. If she says love is peace, she's known pain. If she says love is honesty, she's been betrayed. Her definition of love reveals her scars, but also her strength. And when you share your answer too, when you tell her what love means to you, you create a bridge between two truths, two stories, two souls. But beware, don't fake your answer. Don't say what sounds poetic, say what's real. Because women can sense when words are empty. They don't want perfection, they want authenticity. And here's something few understand. Love only survives where truth is spoken. The moment you lie, even a small lie, the foundation begins to crack. So let this question be your reminder that love is not about avoiding pain. It's about facing it together. That's the fifth truth. Love is not found. It's built. Built with honesty, vulnerability, and courage. The courage to ask, the courage to listen, and the courage to accept the truth, even when it hurts. The hidden door. what she's afraid to lose. The sixth question, perhaps the most revealing of all, is one most people never ask because they fear the answer. Ask her, what are you most afraid to lose? It sounds simple, but in that single question lies the entire map of her priorities, her pain, her hope, and her hidden truth. Most people walk through life pretending they're fearless. They build walls of pride and act like nothing can shake them. But deep down, every person fears losing something, or someone, that gives their life meaning. For some, it's love. For others, it's freedom. For many, it's themselves. When she answers honestly, her fear will show you her heart. If she fears losing you, that's not just love, and that's trust. If she fears losing her independence, that's not rejection. That's a reflection of the time she was controlled. If she fears losing hope, it means she's been broken before and is still learning to believe again. And as she speaks, remember this. You are not listening to a confession. You're listening to courage. Jordan Peterson often says, courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else is more important than fear. So when she opens up about what she's afraid to lose, honor that courage. Don't rush to reassure her. Don't interrupt her truth. Let silence do its work. Because in that silence, you're showing her something more powerful than words. You're showing her presence. Most men believe strength is in dominance, but real strength is in stillness. It's the ability to stay calm while another person is trembling inside their own story. You see, fear is a mirror. It shows you where someone's deepest attachments live, and if you want to love someone truly, you must learn to see their fear not as weakness but as a signpost, pointing toward what matters most to them. When she tells you what she fears losing, don't promise to protect her from it. Promise to walk with her through it, because love isn't about erasing fear. It's about becoming brave together. That's the sixth truth. A person's fear reveals their heart more clearly than their words ever could. And when you learn to hold that fear with gentleness instead of judgment, you stop being a stranger to her. You become her safe place. The final question, what she truly wants from life. Now comes the seventh question. The question that turns conversation into revelation. Ask her, what do you really want from life? This question isn't about ambition, it's about meaning. Because at some point every person wakes up and realizes that the life they're living isn't always the life they dreamed of. Jordan Peterson teaches that meaning is what sustains us through suffering. Without meaning, pleasure becomes empty, and success becomes noise. But when you find meaning, that even in pain, everything changes. When she answers this question, listen carefully. You might expect her to talk about goals, achievements, or dream, but pay attention to the emotion behind the words. If she talks about peace, it means her soul is tired. If she talks about love, it means she's still searching for connection. If she talks about freedom, it means she's been trapped in expectations for too long. This question shows you not only who she is, but who she wants to become. And if you're wise, you'll realize that her answer is not just a window into her heart. It's also a mirror reflecting your own. Ask yourself the same question quietly after she speaks. What do I really want from life? Because in that mutual search for truth, two souls begin to align, not through perfection, but through understanding. Peterson often reminds us, you don't get to choose whether you suffer, but you do get to choose what you're willing to suffer for. When she tells you what she wants from life, you're hearing what she's willing to fight for, what she's willing to lose for, and what she's willing to become. Don't take that lightly. To know what someone truly wants is to stand at the edge of their soul. It's sacred ground. And if you ever find a woman who can speak her truth without fear and you can listen without defense, then you've both discovered something very few ever find. real honesty, real intimacy, real humanity, the truth that changes everything. You see, these 6 questions aren't just about her. They're about you, because the courage it takes to ask and to listen will shape the kind of man you become. Every man wants truth, but few can handle it. Truth doesn't flatter your ego. It exposes it. It doesn't comfort your illusions. It destroys them, but that destruction is necessary, because only by tearing down the false can you build something real. When you ask her these questions, not from pride, not from manipulation, but from genuine curiosity, and you evolve. You stop being the man who just wants to be admired, and you become the man who wants to understand. That's what Jordan Peterson's philosophy has always been about. Responsibility, truth, and the courage to face what's uncomfortable, because truth isn't found in comfort zones. It's found in the places where honesty meets vulnerability. So remember this: you can't make someone tell you the truth, but you can create an environment where truth feels safe to exist. That's what these questions are. A bridge to authenticity. When she tells you what makes her happy, what she regrets, what she misses, what she loves, what she fears, and what she truly wants, she's showing you her map of reality. And if you listen with your whole heart, you'll not only see her more clearly, you'll start to see yourself. Because love at its deepest form is not 2 people completing each other. It's 2 people being completely seen. So ask with kindness, listen with patience, respond with truth. And remember, alcohol might lower her guard, but it's your compassion that will open her soul. When the night is over and her words echo in your mind, don't forget this: you didn't just learn about her, you learned about life. Because every honest conversation brings you closer to wisdom. And wisdom is the foundation of every man's strength. So to every man watching this, if you truly want to understand women, start by understanding truth. Ask not to control, but to connect. Ask not to expose, but to elevate. Ask, because truth, once spoken, sets both hearts free. And when you walk away from that conversation, remember the words of Jordan Peterson. In the truth, there is something that burns. But what it burns away is falsehood, and what's left is something true and strong. So face the fire. Ask the questions. Find the truth, because that's where love and life truly begin.